Hey, what's up, guys? Roger back here with another straight out of theater reaction, guys. Today, it's Wednesday. I'm wearing pink. You guys know what it is, the early screening of Mean Girls. However, this is a different Mean Girls, right? This is like the musical adaptation of Mean Girls. Although they didn't call it Mean Girls the musical, they called it just Mean Girls. I definitely have some thoughts. I'm not sure how people are going to take my thoughts, but, whatever. It is what it is. First and foremost, guys, I got to say right out the gate, this film to me was a subpar film. I'm really trying not to do a comparison to the original Mean Girls. It came out in 2004. To me, this film just felt really subpar. It didn't feel like it was an A-list type of movie. It felt like a B-list movie. And the biggest reason for that, guys, the biggest reason why I was thinking that was the actors that they got, the talent that they got for this. Now, don't get me wrong. Don't grill me. I'm not saying that, oh, these people don't know how to act. Oh, these people don't know how to sing and dance. Like, not at all. What I'm saying is that if you're going to call your movie Mean Girls and you're going to have people play these iconic characters, right? Regina George, Gretchen Wiener, Karen, I don't know her last name, and even like Erin, right? Like these iconic characters of our culture, of our time, you got to make sure that you're casting people that are up to par with the originals, right? Now, I have no issue with you like trying to go a little bit different. Hey, it's the same character, but maybe different background, this character, but slightly different, or like, adjusted for the modern time. No problem with that at all. For me, guys, it just felt like the people that they got, especially for characters like Gretchen Wiener, especially for characters like, oh my God, especially Karen, who in the original movie was played by Amanda Siegfried. And in this movie, I just felt like those characters were, number one, very underutilized in my opinion, as far as like compared to the original movie, and also like just a little underdeveloped. Like they try to do some things, but then they never really went anywhere. And at the end of it too, the actors that they got for it just felt, to me, they felt B-list. They didn't feel like people that really fit the role, or that were really trying to make the role their own. It was either like Karen's actress and character just felt like they were really trying to just play off that like dumb, like aspect of Karen's character from the original, and it just came off too strong. It came off too hard. And Gretchen's character also just didn't feel like in the original, Mean Girls. Gretchen Wiener's character just has a certain, like, I can't even explain it, but she has a certain quality to her. Her character has a certain level of uniqueness that you just like, oh my God, like that's such a Gretchen Wiener thing. In here, I didn't really feel that. All right, but I'm not going to go too deep, guys, into it. But bottom line is, I felt that this movie was subpar. Even when I think to myself, like, okay, don't compare it to the original, just look at it as a film. It felt like a B-list kind of movie. It felt like, the studio was like just.
Hey guys, so I did just want to jump on here real quick. I did end up doing some research during the editing of this, and I did find, as you can see here from this article in Variety, that this Mean Girls movie was actually something that was originally made for streaming. It was supposed to go to Paramount Plus, but they ended up pushing it to a wide release. So just wanted to point that out because I feel like that kind of confirm some of my thoughts here about it feeling like a B plus movie, or like that the studio didn't really put that much effort into this film. I don't know the budget of it, but it does make a little more sense now knowing that this was originally supposed to go to streaming.
It didn't put their full effort in, which is really such a shame, because the first one, the original, is such a beloved classic. It's such a good movie. It's one of those films that, every not only is it a pop culture, but genuinely I think is a good film. I think that movie really has a lot of great characters, a lot of great like storytelling. It has a lot of great, lessons for it of that time, and it's genuinely funny. Here I felt like it just didn't reach that bar. And if you're going to call your film Mean Girls, and you're going to bring Tina Fey along, then you gotta knock it out of the park. And I really felt that they didn't here. So overall, guys, I got to say that I was not very thrilled with it. I watched Mean Girls recently, and that movie just holds up. It holds up, and it's still a phenomenal film. And I can't really say that this is a movie I'll ever really want to watch again. Now, to counter that, some of the positives of this film, I have to say is, as a person who really enjoys musicals, I thought that this movie had some really great musical numbers. I want to say a few really good musical numbers. I think overall, some of the musical segments in it did feel kind of like, not forced, but it definitely felt like, oh, well, here goes another musical number. And they even joke about it, right? With one of the characters about to spring into a song and dance. And then they're like, just kidding. I did think that they try to overplay the musical aspect of it a bit. I know it's a Broadway thing. I know it's an actual musical, and I haven't seen it. So you guys can grill me for that if you want. But I'm just looking at this as a film that is supposed to be pitched to us as a musical. This, I just felt like some of the songs were really good. Some of the songs were just like, okay, can we go on to the next scene? And I didn't mind that they changed some of the story bits. But in general, guys, I definitely felt like the film just didn't live up to the original. And I'm not saying you need to do it beat for beat. There was a lot of things that they changed in it, and I was fine with it. Some of the story elements they changed, some of the things they modernized for this time, totally cool with it. But in the end, man, like, I'm sorry. I know that the main lead of Regina George, I don't know her name. I think her last name is Rapp or something. I think she's the one who does the Regina George in the Broadway musical. I'm not 100% sure about that, but what I can tell you is that, to me, she just didn't fill the shoes. I mean, Rachel McAdams, what an amazing actress. What an amazing character she portrayed as Regina George. And honestly, all I was getting from this iteration of Regina George was like, yeah, she can sing her butt off, right? She had an amazing pipes, great voice. But really all I was getting was like, she really mastered that, like, I'm pissed off, I mean, kind of that, like, RBF face, right? She kind of like mastered that, and that was the only thing I kept getting throughout the whole movie. Instead of more depth to her, instead of more of that, Queen Bee click kind of a thing, I didn't really get any of that. And I feel like that's one of the things that Rachel McAdams nailed in the first one. Also, she just kind of like, the way she embodied Regina George was iconic. Same with all the other characters, right? Aaron, the guy that, the cute guy from the movie. This guy was just so one-dimensional. He had no depth to him. And I'm not saying the original one had so much depth, right? But, like, you just see the difference between, like, wow, this film is phenomenal versus, okay, you guys tried here, but at the end of the day, didn't really land it. So, yeah, guys, those are my thoughts on it. Now, I'm not here to discourage anyone from checking it out. I mean, if you're excited, right, like, I still think it's a fun time at the theaters. I think that some of the musical numbers are worth it. Oh, I will say, definitely by far, since I had a lot of issues with the characters and the actors, the best ones were definitely Ali as Janice, and I don't know the guy's name, but the guy who plays Damien. Those two actors, man, they were phenomenal. They were the best part of the movie for sure. Even better than the girl that played Katie, which I really liked her too. I mean, I liked her from Spider-Man No Way Home, or Far From Home. They were the best. I mean, they definitely embody the spirit of the original characters. Now, and they did their thing with it, and I really liked it. So I want to, all the criticism I had for it, I want to exclude them from it. They did a phenomenal job. Ali, obviously, from, the voice of Moana, she was phenomenal. So I really want to, like, give a shout out to her. But yeah, guys, other than that, I mean, I was pretty let down. I was pretty disappointed. Maybe I'll check it out again and might feel differently. Usually a second viewing, changes my mind a bit. But in general, guys, those are my initial thoughts. So yeah, go out, check it out, get your own opinions. And I hope you enjoy it. All right, guys, that's it. See you in the next one.